What's going on, guys? This is Trice here with SportStop.com, and today we are taking a side-by-side travel down the road of the siblings here. You've got the Epic Hawk sequel and the Epic Hawk prequel lacrosse heads. Let's go ahead and throw these guys under the microscope, get a good side-by-side. All right, guys, so right here is your Hawk prequel and sequel side-by-side comparison. Pop quiz, which one is which? You can't tell. So the face shape is very similar between the two of them, and that's intentional. Again, the whole prequel, sequel kind of give. But when I tip them on their side, immediately you can tell which one is which. I have the sequel in this hand here, which gives you that laid-back profile, and then this here is your prequel, which is the blend between the laid-back and the traditional curve profile. Now, they did this for a number of reasons, but guys, we're going to go run down the ranges and the differences between the two. But before I go too far, I'm going to sit these back down for you. Take a look at both corners here. You're going to see the weight for the prequel and the weight for the sequel on this side. The prequel is running in at 4.9, and then you've got 4.7 ounces on the sequel itself. So without getting too crazy, just so you can tell right off the bat, the sequel is more geared towards your two-handed dodger, somebody who's going to be having the stick in both hands while they're dodging around, especially cutting through. And then this one is more geared toward your one-handed dodger, somebody who's going to be carrying this vertically, really cradling heavy through, but that's kind of where the similarities end. Again, face shapes are strikingly similar. Again, coined the sequel, prequel, so this is the predecessor, if you will. And really that's gearing you towards this traditional offset. This was what everybody knows as a stereotypical conventional, if you will, conventional design. This was the break of the mold, so this was the prequel sequel, okay? So this one here, your prequel, that's got a zone 3 mid-pocket design. Your sequel, I'm going to mix those up a bunch of times, so I'll just fair warning. The sequel here is a zone 4 mid-high pocket design. So this is going to give you a ball that sits right up underneath the shooting strings, tons of control, tons of ball feel and maneuverability, really superior hold and feel. This is going to offer all of those with a really quick release. In fact, it has one of the quickest releases in its class when compared to other conventional curved offset style heads. But this one, so right here with that laid back profile, like I said, this is going to keep the ball tucked up right underneath the shooters, giving you an optimal release point when compared to the conventional offset head. But because the sequel has that laid back profile blended in with the curved offset, right? It's giving you the best of both worlds. It gives you that tons of feel and ball control, but it gives you the optimal release point and everything, all while still offering the benefits of having the curved profile. Now, what Epic's done is they've introduced 3 new measurement standards, if you will, into the realm of lacrosse heads. And there's the lie, there's the sweet spot, quote-unquote sweet spot, and then you also have travel. Now, the lie is the distance between, imagine here if I had a shaft coming out of the sequel head here, right? And the center line of that shaft, the center axis of that shaft, if it were to travel all the way through, come through, the distance between the center axis of that shaft and the scoop itself on the sequel is 0.93 inches, okay? And again, that's just the distance between the center axis of the shaft and the scoop. On the prequel itself, on the prequel, again, center axis of the shaft coming forward, you have a lie that's 0.74 inches. So you have a much significantly shallower lie on the prequel head rather compared to the sequel. And again, that works in conjunction with the sweet spot and everything to give you a really, really quick release. Now the sweet spot, the measurement that Epic is offering is, again, using the center of the center axis of the shaft. That's the home or base, if you will, for all the measurements that they're offering, because that's where your hands are. Okay, that's the way that they're looking at this. So from the center axis of the shaft, moving forward, again, imagine that imaginary line coming. The deepest part of the bottom rail of the head, where the head stops going down and starts coming back up, the vertex of the head itself, that's the sweet spot. And that's kind of where they're designing the pocket to be. That's where they want the majority of you to string your pockets, because that's going to give you the optimum performance out of the head. That's why they designed it that way. On the Prequel, you have a 2.027 inch sweet spot, okay? And that's offering you really one of the deepest pockets available in lacrosse that's legal, okay? On the Sequel itself, again, imagine that line coming through the center axis of the shaft. You get a 1.543 inch sweet spot, okay? And again, all it is the furthest distance from the center axis of the shaft to the bottom rail when the head stops curving down and starts coming back up, okay? Now, if you take the center of that sweet spot and measure to the end of the scoop, that's how far the ball has to travel before it comes out of the head. The shorter the travel, the quicker the release. And on your Sequel head, from the sweet spot to the end of the scoop, you have a 4.98 inch travel. The ball has to travel just shy of 5 inches, to come out of the head. And that is a really quick release. But on the Prequel, it does technically have a longer travel rather. It has a 5.59 inch travel from its sweet spot to the end of its scoop. But because of this curved offset and the way that they've designed it here, it actually comes out quicker. You get one of the quickest releases in its class with the Prequel head. But in reality, they're very strikingly similar heads. They're just geared towards two different playing styles. Again, the Sequel here, you're looking at somebody who does a lot more two-handed dodging. This is a single-handed dodge kind of situation here. But they're run with the same injection molded polymer plastics, so they have equal UV durability and everything like that. They also are both made in the USA. They're both universal spec. Same screw hole, same situation. Again, aesthetically speaking, they're very similar. Same style ball stop. This one just reads Sequel. The Prequel reads Prequel, okay? Same face shape, stringing holes. The real difference is here. This laid back profile on the Sequel, again with its zone 4 mid-high pocket design. And on the Prequel, you get this curved profile blended in with the laid back profile with a zone 3 mid pocket. Guys, that's your side-by-side on the Epoch Hawk Sequel and the Epoch Hawk Prequel. There you go. Alright guys, so I hope you like the side-by-side comparison between these two sibling rivalry style heads here. If you want more information on these two heads specifically, you can click one of these links on this side. I've got the Prequel overview and the Sequel overview right there. If you liked the video, don't be shy, go ahead and click that like button, or even better, click the subscribe button right below me here. I've got a link just to take you straight to SportStop.com, guys. Thanks for watching the video. Have a great day.